So OBS Studio is the application which will record all your videos, and we can post it on YouTube or anywhere you want it. Okay, so this has started recording. So I'm presenting. Okay, and then so let's get back to the yeah. So yesterday I told you in thoroughly that how web servers, how two systems interact with each other. So we have a host here. Client is your host, and there are servers. Every organization or every system has its own servers. So let's consider for the google.com. So it has its own servers. So when you type something or write something to the google.com, so it will go and interact with its Google server. So for them, how they interact. So they and then we had SFTP. SFTP is for file transfer protocol. This is for web server, is for web 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 connection. So one connection get uh, established with other connection. So web server is for just connections, and we have SFTP, which are for transferring the files. So SFTP, that is one of the web servers. Then mail servers, which are used for sending any emails. And all these conversations are end to end encrypted in case of SFTP or mail server. So simply the if you can take the how encryption is managed. So we have simple WhatsApp example. So WhatsApp, whenever you are chatting or starting a chat with someone, you might have seen that you might have seen that pop up that this chat has this total chat has been end to end encrypted. So that's how encryption works, and the whole conversation is end to end encrypted. Okay, and another one is mail servers. So for mail servers, a simple example is Outlook or Gmail, or simple Gmail. So basically, some of you might not be able to understand what is Outlook. Outlook is a simple email application. So in the corporate, so in the huge organization, they don't use Gmail or the Reddit, and we have different mail services, but they have standard. Outlook is for this Microsoft Office 365, where all the communication happens. So Outlook is the standard of Microsoft, which is used throughout the organization. So that is mail server. So but how they interact with each other, that we will cover under the network commands. So let's get started with the network commands, instead of spending lots of time on this. So how we have simple this let's say this is host name. Host name means your machine name. What is your machine name? So this PC is Utreshwar's PC. So this is my PC. So my host name is this Utreshwar PC. Similarly, if you want to, so each and every system interact with each other by using IP address, as I mentioned yesterday. IP address is the internet protocol. IP means internet protocol. Internet protocol. So protocol is a in the simple words we can say it is a methodology by using with systems interact to each other with each other. It is kind of procedure in simple words we can say standard procedure, SOP, standard procedure. Okay, so how we got to know here what is host name here. So this is my system name, but how we can get the IP address of this system. So we have another command, host name hyphen I. So this is so host name hyphen I. So this is my IP address, right? So I this is if you can run from your command prompt as well. So from your Ubuntu, you will get the similar configuration. So this is your IP address, internet protocol address. By using this IP, they will the system talks with another system. So you might have heard this. There are sometimes there in case of police case. suppose someone does wrong thing to other from any server or something. We used to happen these cases very often in during earlier days, when someone will go to the internet cafe and he will write an email to other one, and so the police will go and try to get that IP address, and from that IP address they will track down that who came and who did this thing. So that's where IP address is very important as a from the network perspective, or maybe security purpose perspective. So IP address is very important. So that's how we get the IP address. So hostname we have Utreshwar PC. That is the device, my device name or machine name or system name, whatever you have. So this one hostname hyphen I it will represent the your IP address. Okay, and then let me check these processes. Yesterday we had issue with these processes. Shoot, escape. So, so yesterday what happened? Whatever the memory this tab was taking. So Google Meet, whatever the memory it was taking, that was getting crashed. So that's why two times our meeting got crashed. So that is also an example of how processes works. That we will cover in the next part after this network commands are done. So in order to get the IP address, hostname hyphen I, and this command is very frequently used, guys. So if you're someone if you have any difficulty with your system or something, the network or IT guy will come and they will say what is your IP address and host name, and you have to just give them the your IP address, host name, and all that. They will take care of your system. So that's how it is managed. So we have another command, IP hyphen A, IP hyphen A. I think this one, yeah. So IP address. We can see IP hyphen A. So no A required, hyphen required, IP A. That will, yes. So, IP and simple A, not hyphen A, just a simple A. Let me share it. IPA. So if you can see the inlet, so there are like inlet and outlet. So in this is your you can find the inlet. So this one is your IP address. Okay. So that's how we can get. This is another command we can use to get the IP address. So let you can get it right. So IP address, and then we used IP hostname hyphen I. So both are representing the same, right? This is the 127.00.01. That is the same IP we have. Okay, then let's then comes the very important command. How we can connect to these. Okay, if you have this IP address, okay, and then how we can connect to these IP addresses. So in order to connect to these IP addresses, we use different commands. So we used to have uh, earlier for IP address also we had another command, ifconfig config, but I think that's not supported nowadays. It is, yeah, it's not supported nowadays, but we had this ifconfig for running the getting the IP address command. So that is not valid nowadays. But in order to connect to other systems, how we can connect? If you have some IP address, then how we can connect? So currently I don't have that system, another IP to connect. But say I will tell you the command. So telnet, and then so let me get the IP. If we can get the IP, so then we have telnet command, telnet, and we can give the IP address, and then it telnet cannot be found installed because now it is telnet is also not supported probably here. Nowadays we use SSH. Okay, a command telnet not found but can be installed with another. So it requires another version for this. This latest version it doesn't support, because I will tell you what is the difference between telnet and usually uh, current we use SSH, and if we have some username username. For every system we have username, okay, and then we have we use @ and then we use the uh, this IP address. So this is SSH. SSH is also used to connect the remote servers and remote servers. Okay, let me summarize this. We have two commands to connecting for remote servers. Connect to remote servers. So we have telnet. Okay, telnet is command used to connect to remote servers. So remote server means it's just an IP address configured with username and password. So every server has its username and password. Okay, by using this we can connect to the username, password, and particular IP address. Probably once we are doing the cloud, I will show you the demo of exactly this telnet, how telnet is used. So I don't have remote server to connect now. So, but just get understanding how we can use the telnet, and we have another command SSH, and similarly it requires username and IP, and if you enter this, it will ask for the password. Okay, and then password. Okay, so that's how this is a simple command SSH and telnet. So in order to connect to remote servers we have SSH and telnet. But what is the difference between yeah, we already have telnet. Why this SSH came? SSH is simple, secure shell. Simple, no, not simple, it's a shell secure shell. Basically whatever the linux is kind of shell scripting. It is shell, we call it as a shell scripting as well. So it is a shell. So in order to connect to that shell we use a secure shell, and that's how it is named SSH, secure shell. And in order but in the telnet what difficulty we used to have. So telnet was not secure. It was not secure, not secure. In order to beat this scenario, they brought another command of like secure shell. Yes, where it is secure end to end secured secured and encrypted. So similar we have in WhatsApp. Okay, so this is the difference between shell and telnet. Telnet is not secure, but SSH is secure. Okay, but we can use any command to connect the remote servers. But nowadays this one is not used in the industry because everyone wants to have a secure connection. So SSH is mostly used for connecting the SSH. We need username, then IP, and once you enter the command, it will ask for the password if that network server is secured. Every server is secured nowadays. It's not unnecessary. You need to have password for that. So once you have that username, ID, password, then you can use the SSH to connect to that remote server. So that's how we do it. Okay, so that is for the remote server, telnet, and then secure shell. Okay, what we can cover, then IP address is covered. Okay, then so Linux, from Linux, SGH mode is covered, and one more for networking. For networking, this is enough for the as a engineer. We are not going to have the support engineering job. So in support there are like multiple network commands are required for our job. This is the basic commands we need, and let's start with the processes. So if you can currently see, if you go to your Windows tab, task manager. Okay, task manager, if you can see. currently it's running, so no trouble today. So if you go to the task manager, task manager. Okay, so if you can see, there are multiple processes running. So this is simple process dashboard. So it is showing what processes are running and what amount of CPU, memory, disk utilization, network utilization they are doing. So currently Chrome is utilizing most. So it is utilizing 15% of our CPU. It is covering almost 81 535 MB of memory, and then disk utilization it is shown. So these are the all running processes, right? So then we have Microsoft Excel, which is not covering much, but still it is covering uh, some amount of memory. Then we have another application, OBS Studio. That is how what amount of memory it is consuming. Then Task Manager we just opened. Then Terminal, we have Terminal open. So these are the process active running processes. This we can go and see with you with the use of Windows. But how we can check these processes are what processes are running for our Linux systems? So we have that PS command, all the processes commands. So let me so in order to network commands, we let me write it. For hostname we have source name, then we have hostname hyphen I for IP address, then telnet telnet for remote connection, and then we have SSH, that is secure shell. Okay, and what we missed, we earlier used to have support with ifconfig. Some of the systems still support this ifconfig, but our current system doesn't support. Then which one we took? ifconfig. Then IP, not hyphen is not required. IP address, simple IP and just A for address. So IP address. These are the usual normally used network commands in day-to-day life activities. So these are so out of that SSH is definitely required. You will definitely connect to the remote server, and IPA or this hostname hyphen I. This is most required command for the day-to-day activities. Okay, so then so let's get to the process commands. So even if here you can see, if I run here, shift escape. So currently it is showing. So particularly with the Chrome, we earlier checked with respect to the system manager. So total amount of whatever the processes are running on this my machine. But if you want to check particularly for this system, Chrome, we have shift. If you press shift and escape on your browser, you will get it like what are the processes running currently. So you can see the how much memory, how much CPU, what is the network utilization, and here we get the process ID. So these are the running processes and their respective process ID. In order to what so every process has its unique identification. So it is showing like 2328 1292 2408. So similar we have the same terminologies in the Linux as well. So if you check PS, then it will get the running processes. Okay, here it is showing that PI process ID, TTY, and then time and CMD, it is bash, and then PS. In order to, this is simple, just uh, showing the running processes. PS hyphen maybe A. This is showing all the processes. But in order to suppose you are running this process here in Windows, what do you do? normally go to the task manager, and if you don't want to run this particular command, so you will just right click it and end task. You will do the end task, but that that task is closed, right? But how you can kill that? We don't have. If you do the right click here, it will not do that such option. It will not have any such option. So how we can manage this? So we have another process command for killing the process. So then if you enter the process ID, that will kill the particular process. I don't want to kill currently, so just kill, and using this PID, just enter this PID here and enter the command, so you will get that process kill, as we did with the Windows environment. So kill is the command we use for killing the particular process. So that is it for the processes. These are the most required, PS and kill. And in order to suppose you are using a huge system, suppose process commands, and then yes, running processes, then kill, to kill the particular process. Suppose you might have encountered such scenarios like your system is taking too much load. Suppose you you open particular application and that is taking too much of your memory and too much. Sometimes your system gets hanged. You are not able to do anything with your system. So how will you manage such a scenario? So we what we usually do, we go and force complete or force close that application, right? Most probably in the Android system, if your memory is not enough, you will encounter these scenarios. Your application, due to application memory utilization, your system will get hanged. So we don't have any other option. We usually do the restart, or just shut down the phone and then restart again. So these are the like techniques we use. But in Linux we don't have such option. So we use kill hyphen n, kill kill hyphen and 9 and process ID. Okay, so hyphen 9, it will force kill your process. Whatever the process we are running, it will force kill that process, and that process will be killed. So simply, in order to see the running process, PS running processes. If someone is from mechanical background, he will understand the processes, because we used to deal with a lots of the engines and processes. So killing the process, killing the running process, and then force killing the running process. Okay, these are the commands for processing. So networking commands completed. Then remote server, how we can connect to remote servers, IP and everything is completed. Process related commands, these are the process related commands we can use. And is it for process ID, you must have the process ID. Then server, everything is covered. So yeah, so there is another command for checking the utilization, whatever the space utilized. So simple commands, du simple, it is disk utilization. If you run disk utilization, it will show you which file and what we had. So this is showing all the this one is huge. So whatever the files and folders your system has, so it will show you. So this one is huge command. I should not have run this, but it will show the like this, which process, which application, or which package file, which had covered the whatever, मतलब जितने भी फाइल से आपके सिस्टम में उसने कितने प्रोसेसेस किए हैं, या फिर जो एप्लीकेशन है उसने कितना डिस्क यूटिलाइजेशन, जो तुम्हारे डिस्क सिस्टम का डिस्क है कितना यूटिलाइज किया है वो पूरा मतलब thoroughly they it will show it. Okay, so du, so this is the simple command. We don't use this much, this is not required, but just for your understanding. And then df, disk free. So what is the free disk? So you can see, but in df, if you can see, just focus on these two. So whatever the this must be, everyone will be able to check this in your system. So this might you not able to see because this is little bit difficult to track. बट अगर सिंपली देखा जाए तो सी एंड डी ड्राइव तो हर किसी सिस्टम में होता है. तो सी एंड डी ड्राइव, सो इफ यू कैन सी हियर in the Windows environment as well. So we have C disk and D disk. So C disk is almost almost full, 11.1 GB free of 128, and D is 51 GB free of 108. So that's how we can use the df command to check the which system is how much full. So it is showing already right correctly. So 90% it is full and 53% this one is full. So these are the like uh, du and df for checking the we. So so if you, for every command we have manual. So simple, if you want to get more information about this df command or da command, no, we have manual. If you simply run man and df, it will give you the manual of all your df. So if you are working and sometimes you don't understand what is the combination I should use, so they have provided itself the manual for them. So if you provide an extension df hyphen a, it will show the sudo duplicate inaccessible files, all the files. So similar we have extension uh, like human readable. Now whatever we run was different, right? So earlier what command we used, so let me rerun again. Earlier what we used was not human readable, right? So if you, so I can show you it. Appreciate for the value for keep. Okay. Okay, so keep in mind, if you are any doubt with respect to the any of the command, or you want to know get more information about that command, just we have simple command man. Man is simple manual. It will go the manual of whatever the we have. Okay, okay, guys, getting? I think this is not a tough to understand. Everybody should understand. So man df, and then so let df hyphen h. Okay, so what we got it here is bit in human readable format. Okay, so that is the manual. Suppose man and simple the cat, how cat command is used. Okay, in order to get the manual of cat, so whatever the all extensions you can use. So we can use cat hyphen a show all equivalent to, then number and non blank it will show with the extension of b, and then show and displays dollar at end of the each line, and then hyphen number all output lines. So cat hyphen. So for each and every command there are some extensions. I cannot complete all the extensions thoroughly. It will take just Linux will be taking the like 2-3 months to complete. So that much is not required. But whenever you are working in the industry and if you find difficult, so probably we have all the AI support now. But still, if you want to explore from your side also, we have this man which will give the thorough information about the particular command. Any of the command in the Linux, just do the man and particular command, you will get all the information of that command. So sometimes you get confused, then just do man and then command name, it will give the information. Okay, so that one was for man and command name. Get information, get detail Okay, so man, and that is, this is for manual. Then if you I can mist, just let me have some water. Okay, so we read some files as well. So I missed one of the command. That one was very important. We will cover it. Then meanwhile, let me cover another command as well. So sometimes this zip and unzip, right? Have you understood? Have you ever heard about this word zip and unzip? Zip and unzip. Zip and another is unzip. Okay, these are simple terminologies. So suppose you want to, let's get back to the file server. Okay, so if you want to transmit one file, which is suppose 110 GB, 10 GB, 10 GB, and in order to transfer this file to this server, the amount of speed, amount of data, and amount of everything, just whatever the whatever required. So in order to transfer the data, we have time, we have latency, we have network, lots of things are required in order to transferring the data. But so suppose this is 10 GB file, you want to transfer this file to this remote server. Okay, but you want to do it quickly, you don't want to spend lots of your resources. So there comes there we have another option nowadays, that is the technology they are using in files and folders to, that will covers different file formats, how they are compressing this 10 GB file to 1 GB file. So 1 GB, and again they will unzip. So what I mean to say, suppose this is one 10 GB file. Instead of transferring this as a 10 GB of file, they will zip that file. Zip means they will simply compress this file. Okay, zip means simply, in simple words, they will compress this file. Compress the file, and when it is required, that file is required. So compressed file is not that readable, so that's not so whenever it is required, they will simply unzip, uncompress or unzip that. In simple words, uncompress again whenever required. So zip for compressing the files, and unzip for uncompressing the files. But in the Linux, we don't have directly as a zip and unzip. We have gzip, and here simply again one zip. So gunzip. So simple, these commands are used to compress the file sizes, and then these files are transferred from one server to another server. So that makes file transfer easy and then fast, and lots of resources are not required. So these are the uh, advantages of these commands we can use to transfer. What happens actually, suppose every organization has remote servers. Remote server means, suppose this is your system, right? So take this as a today's knowledge, guys. Okay, complementary knowledge for today. So this is my system. Okay, but whenever we are working, no, this is, we don't work on this system. This is just a host, as I mentioned. No, this is just a host. This machine will just host me. Means I can access through this machine to another machine. So we have another machine here. Another machine. Okay, another machine. So for this machine, this machine has the nowadays we can relate to the cloud, right? So suppose there are like multiple applications hold on this machine, so this is called remote server. Remote server on or whatever the required applications, no, for the day to day. Suppose these are installed in my machine, so this OBS studio and this Excel and everything is installed in my machine, but lots of the applications are hold on this remote server, and remote server is not accessible to everyone. So your machine might be accessible to your friends, or you can able to access, but in order to get the remote server access, basically what I mean to say, you are not using your system to work for your all the activities. You have remote server, so on the remote server all your data is kept, all your applications are hosted. So that's how you connect to the remote servers. But suppose your manager sends an email, okay, sends an email, and in the email he send you a file. Suppose send an email, the file he sends, but your email is on this machine, okay. Your Microsoft and Outlook is everything on this machine, but this machine has the remote. This machine has your SFTP, Secure File Transfer Protocol, right? Well, that's SFTP is used for transferring the file. Suppose your manager sends an email and says, "Hey Utresh, I want to upload this file to our remote server." Okay, but you cannot connect to the remote server using this machine, because it will not allow you sometimes. Then he will, what we will do, suppose he send you 1 GB of file, 1 GB of file, and he will say you, yes Utresh, I have sent you an email, we just need to upload this file to the remote server by using SFTP, Secure File Transfer Protocol. So what you will do, so we will, this is 1 GB file. In order to transfer this file from this machine to this machine, it will take time. So what we will do, we will simply right click that file and zip that file, right, in the Windows environment. So similarly we can do the zip and then unzip. So this file will be transferred to this environment, and suppose this was 1 GB file, so it will be compressed to the 200 MB, 200 MB. Okay, and that will be transferred to the remote server, and it will reduce the time and latency and whatever the required parameters to transfer this file. So that file will be transferred quickly, and you can upload to the SFTP. So that was all for this zip and unzip. So these are very common scenarios required, because you need to play with a lot of data, and data has to be transformed from one remote server to the another remote server. So these five commands are very much important. So then we have sort and sort sorting commands. Is it getting flooded, guys? We are covering a lot of commands in a session. It might feel little bit heavy today, but these are simple commands, so don't just I will upload this to YouTube, just revise it once. So let's complete one or two commands for today, and then we can wrap up. Okay, so maybe we are covering lots of commands, so for the beginners it might feel it is too much difficult. So you have to practice from your side as well, guys. So just a theoretical knowledge will not work. So for the sorting means, suppose we have 1 2, then 3 4 4 3 again 4. So usually there are files and folders. We sort them either using date, simply this suppose I have desktop, okay, and then here is option. It will allow you to sort either by date or size. By default now it is sorted by the date modified, right? We have another options like size, date created, authors tag, and everything. So in order to sort and uh, sort, we have like two options here. Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, so, sort. So simple sort. we have simple sort command in the Linux for sorting. And so sorting is usually there are two methods of sorting. So I would not say it a method, but there are two, like, sort ascending and descending orders. Basically these are the orders, sorry, not methods, these are the orders. So how we manage the data or anything. So even the numbers we manage either ascending order or descending order. So this is descending order. So in order to, by default everything is in ascending order, but in order to reverse that we use the sort hyphen r. Sort hyphen r. Suppose let's say this file. Okay, let's say cat and utresh.txt we have txt. Okay, so this is currently how it is normal file. But if you want to sort and then sort hyphen r and then utresh.txt. Okay, so how it is now, it is in descending order, if you can see. So here type is first t t t I I h h h h e. So it is in the descending order now. But it is takes, so it is in the descending order. And if I just sort it, sort and then utresh.txt. Okay, so it is again in the ascending order. So in order to sort this file in ascending order or descending order, we can use the sort and sort hyphen r. These are the extensions we use. So anything else, sort is done, ascending order, descending order is done. So there is one more command, guys, which is very much important. So just keep this one in mind. This is very important. So great. Suppose you have a log file. Okay, you have usually whatever we do is logged. So whatever I am doing, or whatever the conversation, or suppose you are doing some task, so that task is also logged. So they will ask, like, what task you did, how long you did. So they will ask you to log it. Okay, so similarly for every transaction or every order there are some logs, and then log file gets generated. For every system log files are generated. Log files, log means what was the transactions. Simply in order to understand, there are, like, suppose you have ATM machine, right? So ATM machine will keep history of, suppose someone came, a person came and removed, first person came and removed the 100 rupees, right? Second person came and removed took the 300 rupees. Third person came and he he again took 1000 rupees. Okay, so this machine has to log everything, right? So what was the daily, what is the daily business, and what is the amount of money he has, that machine has. So it has to log. So every file is logged. Every whatever the transaction done, it is logged. So for that every log, that log is generated, and uh, log is kept under the file. We call it as log file. Suppose whenever you are working in the any company, suppose you are doing some work on that particular file. Suppose let's take, uh, suppose you are running fourth, let's say fourth person came and he got some error. He got error. There might be like different kinds of error. Either he might be running out of the money, or he entered the invalid pin, or there may be some technical issues from machine side as well. So in order to get the logs, how many times our machine didn't work. Suppose there's some, suppose this is SBI machine, right? SBI ATM machine. This bank will also do the log analysis from their side. Then they will simply run command where there is an error occurred. Okay, so in order to find, suppose this is a text file. They are keeping a text file and they want to understand where this error occurred for this. So in order to find particular pattern we have grep command. Okay, grep, and grep whatever you want to search. Suppose you want to search in this file, suppose datawala. Okay, you want to search datawala. This is very required command, guys, because whenever you are working, then you need to check the log files, and in the log files we get some errors. So you can't check whole log file, right? Log files are huge, you won't even able to read this. So in order to get that particular error or error messages, you go to the use the grep command, and suppose you want to search the datawala in particular file, so we can use utresh dot txt. Okay, datavala in utresh dot txt. So why didn't it give? Okay, why didn't it go, guys? Does anyone have any idea? I have, but still. So it didn't give, although it has the datawala, right? This file has, we are just reading this file datawala, but utresh.txt has datawala, but why it is not giving the datawala? But now here comes another twist. Grep datawala utresh.txt. Here it came. What was the difference here? Although so we will cover one this topic in uh, thoroughly, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. Currently we don't have that time. So we have two cases, like uppercase and lowercase. So in uppercase means simply in capital, and lowercase means small. So that we will cover during the Python session, or maybe SQL sessions thoroughly. What are the different cases? But simple, in simple words, just understand. Uppercase means, if you can see the difference, this D is capital and this D is small. Although this had the data wala in this utresh.txt, it didn't return. Why? Because it doesn't understand this D and this D. I don't understand, bro. Whatever you are writing, just give the correct understanding. So in order to suppose you want to find it like irrespective of the case, then you have another command, grep hyphen I, and then let me run now again that datawala without the uppercase, then utresh.txt. Okay, it came, although I enter the same command. So grep hyphen I, it will make that this one text as a case insensitive. Whatever I have written, just give this pattern. I don't want to go with the case, whatever the uppercase or lowercase. I don't care about the cases. So yeah, you just give me the whatever the pattern I am searching. So grep, particular, finding the particular pattern, grep. Okay, global, it is called global regular regular expression. Glo- global regular expression. So like regular expression means whatever the in order to find the particular pattern, find particular pattern. Okay, great. So yeah, that I think these are the I think huge commands we covered today. Just revise it, guys, because these are huge commands, so you might